G'day there guys, it's your Aussie Hubby Markee, back at it again with another r/EntitledParents post. Now with that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and get ready for some bloody entitled Karens. Our first post today is by user Modero Medio, titled, "Some people just can't handle quarantine, huh?" Some backstory. I live at home with my family, and while I'd be happy to stay inside during quarantine, they insist I have to go outside for an hour a day while maintaining social distancing. I'm pretty lazy, so what I usually do is walk to the nearby high school. It's absolutely huge, and I climb on the roof and just sit there listening to podcasts and playing mobile games. The part of the roof I usually sit on is a little ledge overlooking the parking lots and adjacent basketball court, and it's only about a 6-foot drop onto some stairs, not even a proper roof. So today, I was sitting on the ledge, listening to TAZ and playing Plague Inc., when I see a family ride on their bikes in the parking lot. I figured they're just getting exercise in, same as me, and there's 2 kids, each young elementary school age on little kid bikes, and a mum, who's the entitled mother, not on a bike, watching them. Supervising, I guess. So of course, since it's super intriguing when someone's on a roof, the little kids start pointing at me and waving, and of course I wave back and smile. Then I look back at my phone and get back to my game. About a minute later, I hear entitled mother shouting. I only ever have one earbud in case there's an emergency. It's a habit. I figured she's shouting at her kids, but then she realized she's saying, Hey, you on the roof." I take out my remaining earbud and I say, "Yeah? What's up?" She proceeds to tell me that I should come down this instant, that I'm distracting and influencing her children to do bad things, and that climbing the roof is against the rules. She was technically right about the against the rules thing, but the school's been closed for months, and I'm not endangering anybody, except myself, kinda. But I know my way around the rooftop. So I politely explained that I'm completely capable and safe, and that her children are free to ask me any questions. She repeats her previous points, only now adding that I'm a stupid teenager, and that I'm just doing this for attention. I say that the effect I may have passively affecting her young children's curiosity is really not my problem, and that she should just explain why they're too young to climb the roof, instead of yelling at me about it. At this point, entitled mother is just red in the face. Her kids aren't even paying attention anymore, riding in circles on their bike again. She continues yelling at me, and I try not to engage. She says I'm harassing and assaulting them by refusing to listen to her, and refusing to get down. Entitled mother has gone full Karen at this point, just screaming about how I'm ruining their time out of the house, and that I'm a tramp and I should be more considerate of people who have it worse than I do. The section of the roof I'm on has a staircase that leads up to it, and then a 6-foot block that I hoisted myself up onto and I was sitting on. Entitled mother walks up the stairs and starts trying to hoist herself up the 6-foot block. She doesn't use the railing I use to help myself up, probably because it overlooks a 30-foot drop. The stairs bring you to the roof ledge on one side, but on the other side there's quite a long drop to the pavement, which she seems to be avoiding at all costs. She continually does a running jump at the edge of the ledge, and every single time can't pull up her body weight. She continues this for about 2 minutes while saying things like, "I try to create a safe and secure environment for my children, and you are threatening us by being there. You need to get down right now." I, of course, am still saying nothing, kinda just watching, amused at this point, 'cause what's she gonna do? Throw me off the side? After a while, she gives up and angrily goes back to her kids, who are still riding in circles on their bikes. She turns, says she's reporting me to the police, and takes her 2 kids and leaves the parking lot. I followed them with my eyes, and she never once put the phone up to her ear. She might have called later, but there's been nothing about it. If she ever did call, they probably told her she was overreacting. I hope so at least, or my little rooftop social distancing sanctuary will be more ruined than it already is. TLDR, minding my own business on a rooftop, and entitled mum yells saying I'm harassing her kids. I can't help but laugh about how she's screaming about creating a safe environment while she's trying to climb on a 6-foot block, leaving her children to ride their bikes while she's clearly too busy shrieking to be paying them any attention. Posted by user IxyThings, titled, "You already have a child, you should sell me your new baby." As much as I like this sub, I live in fear of having the opportunity to post here, and yet here I am, with the realization that I have family that I can talk about in here. Warning, English is not my first language. This is the most manipulative and ugly, literally ugly, classist, racist person I've ever met. I've worked in customer service and do politics in a totalitarian government, so it's safe to assume I've already seen the worst of the worst. She's married to my uncle, let's call her Mary. Mary has pulled a lot of entitled stunts over the course of her life. I probably have over 100 stories that I can share that I know of. I don't talk to that part of the family because it's toxic as hell, but there are a few family gatherings in which we meet. One of those happened yesterday, and I got reminded of her golden traits, so thought you would enjoy raging with me. Her entitlement shone yesterday, as she tried to make herself the best friend of my current boss, who's married to my cousin and he is filthy rich. Brought a friend of hers who was supposed to be strictly quarantined because she is high risk. Tried to outshine the 1-month-old baby who we were all there to meet with her already grown-up daughters who we've all met. Tried to become the host of the party in a house that was not hers, going as far as to search and serve food from the refrigerator that wasn't destinated to the party servings. And, to top it all off, we were also there to pray for my cousin's mother, who died last week. I don't participate in Christian stuff, but she was my favorite auntie and like a second mother to me. So the moment of appreciation was very important to me, to my cousin, my other aunt, and Mary's husband, his sister. Turns out, Mary decided that since we were there to remember the dead ones, it would be a nice thing to not only take the role of the main person leading the prayers, but to also include a picture, a big one, of her mother, that she pulled out of her purse and put it in front of my aunt's picture, covering it almost completely, and start with a speech of how she missed her mother, who died 10 years ago, and literally just say rip about my auntie's death. But I'm not here today to tell you that story. Oh no, I was just venting. Since I have so much to tell and so little time, I figured it would be best if I started with the oldest tale I know. The time she asked my mum to sell her my brother while she was 4 months pregnant. Good old Mary is infertile. She has 2 daughters, one was conceived in vitro and then introduced into her womb. The other one popped out of nowhere, literally. We suspect she bought it out from someone, since she has a record of trying this, but whatever. Before having her first daughter, when I was around 10 years old, my mum broke the news to the family that she was pregnant. Yay! Mary wasn't happy with this because she, as of then, had been trying for years with her husband and wasn't able to get pregnant. She always had this sort of competition with my mum, and with everyone because she has this need of being the best one in everything. She must have the most money, have the most expensive clothing, be more successful in her career, having the happiest marriage, going to the most exotic places. But she wasn't the best. She was the only one with no children out of the 7 siblings of the family, my aunts and uncles, and she was also one of the oldest wives. So imagine her jealousy when the youngest one, directly below her husband, was going to have her second child while her and her husband were still child-free. The horror! Her status! So, she put my mother aside one day and told her, "You know, it isn't fair that you get pregnant before us. It wasn't fair for you to have OP before your brother, since he's older than you. But whatever, it can't be helped if OP was a broken condom or something. But you know, we've been trying for years now, and we're just exhausted. And we're not comfortable with trying those artificial methods, nor having a baby without our blood. So, since you're family, and we know you are not in a financial position to take care of another baby right now, what would you say if I offered to pay for everything pregnancy related, and after the baby is born, I would pay you amount for keeping it as your brother's and I's baby?" Of course, my mum said no. She told me roughly how the proposition went years later, but only because I was the one that found out why she was so pushy about buying my brother. because this wasn't just a one-time thing. No, she constantly tried to convince my parents to sell them my brother throughout the next 5 months, and even for some months after he was born. You see, my father is a son of immigrants. He has European bloodline and is very handsome. Mary also has a need of proving to everyone that she has royal blood, and aesthetics are everything to her. Hence the need to show herself as the best of the best in every aspect of her life, and she will not hesitate to do anything to achieve her goal of being the perfect woman with the perfect life. This includes pretending she has white genes. She doesn't. We live in a very heavily race-mixed country. She was born in one of the least developed states, in a humble family, in a small town, with only town people that has been working under the sun for generations. So all of them have dark skin. She married my uncle, who comes from a family that has lived in an island for generations, and who is also the most dark-skinned one of all the siblings. There is no way she is going to have a baby who is white. But my mum is one of the most light-skinned between her siblings, and she married my dad, who has Italian and Polish genes. And I was born with a very pale skin and smooth hair. Mary and her husband's hair are what we describe as bad hair, not in an offensive way, but that's how it's called here. It's basically super twisted and thick hair. There was a big chance my brother was going to be born European looking. You already know where this is going, right? One day I was minding my own business while in their daughter's birthday party, and I happened to wander close to where Mary was talking with someone. I didn't know her. And I heard how she openly complained about how her daughter was black, and how she wished she managed to convince my mum and dad to just give her their baby, because having a white son would have solved all of her problems. It is so hard to move up the stairs of society when you have a black family, and not only that, but having an ugly daughter isn't going to help either. There's no way she will marry a rich man. How is she supposed to pay her retirement? There was more said, but I can't remember it all. And yes, my uncle approves of her behavior and patronizes it. They, two dark-skinned people, believe in white supremacy. Oh, by the way, forgot to mention that the daughter that popped out of nowhere one day is white, and looks nothing like Mary nor her husband. You'd think that's how it worked, wouldn't you? Posted by user Gated Garden Homes, titled, "An entitled parent scolds me for having asthma." Yeah, you read that right. It's not too long of a story, and it's not super crazy like all the other ones on this subreddit, but I thought y'all would get a kick out of this one. Just a heads up, there will be spelling errors because I'm too bored to fix them. This was about a month ago, a few weeks before this whole quarantine started. I was at Target with my parents, looking for a birthday present for one of my best friends, while my parents were looking around the food department for something or another. While yes, quarantine didn't start yet, this was when all the panic shoppers were out and swarming the food. So I kinda left them to go look for a gift. I was walking around the video games to see if I could find anything cheap for him when I felt it coming. It wasn't loud, it was just a small one, like they usually are, but it caught someone's attention. An entitled mother. Before I get into the showdown, let me first explain why I coughed. When I was little, I had really bad asthma. Like, so bad I couldn't even breathe. But over the past couple of years I grew out of it, or so I thought. Because starting in like January, I started coughing a ton. And apparently, it was the return of my asthma. From the grave it rises. "Excuse me," I heard somewhere behind me. I kept walking, assuming the voice was looking for a manager. "Excuse me," she screamed again, behind me as if she was Vicky Guerrero. Yeah, I made that joke last time I did in a story. So what? I turned around to face this store's main antagonist. She looked like a textbook Karen. Pasty white skin, the haircut, brown sunglasses, indoors, and a generic white mom outfit. She had a little girl with her. She couldn't be older than 10. "Yes, ma'am?" I asked, trying to be polite before I raised the ironic bitchy shields. "First of all, don't call me ma'am. I'm only a few years older than you. I'm 16. Still, I'm young." "Okay, Karen, is there something you need? Stop being a little tramp and listen to me." "Ma'am, I'm sorry, I meant, person that is barely older than me, I'm listening. Also, maybe you shouldn't cuss around your daughter. The daughter wasn't paying attention to us. She was looking at a game behind her on the shelf. What do you know about parenting? Oh my god, just get to the point or leave me alone. How dare you disrespect me? You've done nothing to earn it. Can we please get to the point? I have somewhere I need to be. How dare you be here disrespecting me? You should be at home with your coronavirus. Now it was my turn to say, excuse me? I heard you coughing, boy. I said go home. I don't need you spreading your disease to my daughter. Oh, now you care about her. And I don't have the coronavirus. It's just asthma. I can assure you that if I had the virus, I wouldn't be here. Asthma? How dare you come here with asthma? You could give that to my daughter as well. At this, I facepalmed so hard, I thought it would bruise. Lady, that's not how asthma works. Yes, it is. I saw it on TV. People with asthma are more likely to be hurt by the virus, and I don't want you giving it to my girl. So leave the store right now, or I'll call security. Lady, if you truly believe all this, I feel bad for your daughter. Then I turned around and grabbed a $25 Xbox gift card. But it was nice chatting with you, Karen. I'll be on my way. You beady-eyed Donkey Kong-looking motherfricker. I laughed as I walked away. I heard her rambling about how I shouldn't be cussing in front of her daughter, calling me a filthy Mexican. We literally never talked about race, but go off I guess, sis. And calling me a virus spreader. I just kept laughing to myself as I walked back to my parents, who were about done with their food scavenger hunt. What's so funny? My mum asked. It's nothing, I said, as we went to go pay for our stuff. I didn't see our Karen again, but I figured she was probably yelling at some minimum wage employee. I went to the movie theater for the party, and it went amazingly. I understand that she was just scared of the virus, which she has every right to be, but she was so ignorant and about as smart as a bowl of raisins. If you put her in a room with a bowl of raisins and they had to both do the SATs, the raisins would finish first. Anyways, thank y'all for reading this funny little story. Stay at home, stay safe, and don't be a tramp. Posted by user FartPickle, titled, Too Old to Enjoy Video Games. This makes me a pervert, I guess. So, I recently went to Walmart. I don't generally go to Walmart because I don't like the atmosphere, but been stuck at home for a while and needed some social interaction and wanted to grab some stuff to work on the outside area. Just some plants and soil and whatnot. While walking through Walmart, I decided I would look at the video game section. I was looking at the Nintendo section when I noticed that they have one new Nintendo 2DS XL left. Not only is this the last one, it's the last Nintendo console they have. I was blown away. Recently, I had been doing some DoorDash to earn some extra cash, so I decided to splurge. I grabbed a person and was asking about honoring the GameStop price. Walmart still offers the price match guarantee, and GameStop had theirs $50 cheaper. The person agrees and said he needs to go find someone with keys to open the case. I stand there waiting and flipping through Reddit for about 10 minutes or so, when a woman, EntitledParents, and her son, Brat, and a Walmart associate comes up. I look up, nod my head, and look back at my phone. Out of the blue, I hear the kid shout, "That one right there!" The shouting had startled me, so I looked up to see the Walmart associate getting ready to unlock the case. I then stop him and say, "Excuse me, I have been here for about 10 minutes waiting for someone to unlock the case to grab that item. Keep in mind that the only item in the case is the Nintendo DS. Well, sorry, but we beat you to it. Better luck next time. Maybe you should grow up instead of wasting your time on stuff made for kids." I kid you not, these were her words. No exaggeration. I was immediately furious, and it takes a lot to push me over the edge. How could you talk to a total stranger like that? I wasn't rude in the slightest. Just mentioned that I had been waiting for someone already. Now, I understand. Am I really such a jerk that I'm going to deprive a kid, maybe 10 years old, of the only DS they have? Well, yes. Merely because I had been waiting and she was so rude about it. Ma'am, that was uncalled for. There's no need to be rude. I have been waiting for the Walmart associate for almost 15 minutes to get this item, and unless you have been waiting longer, I'm gonna stand firm that I have the right to it. That's total crap. I've been here for almost an hour and been waiting for a Walmart associate for almost the whole time to unlock the case. Walmart associate, secretly my hero, says, "Wait, you just came up to me a few minutes ago. If this guy has been waiting longer, it's his discretion on what he wants to do." I had asked someone before you, duh. No joke, she said duh. Where's the manager? This is ridiculous. I'm not going to tell my son, who has wanted this for over a year, he can't get one because some pervert wants to play with kids' toys. I would like to reiterate that few will believe this, but this story is true, and there is very little to no exaggeration at all. This woman really was this crazy. The brat's like, "Mum, tell him to get it, tell him to get it." At this point, the kid keeps chanting this because the Walmart associate has stopped until the manager arrives. Entitled parents like, "Wow, you're really going to make a child cry over your selfishness? You really are a piece of work, you know that? Do you know how sad it is to let a child cry because you literally are taking the toy right out of his hand? Ma'am, please calm down. There's no need to be nasty. The manager will come and we will see who inquired first." The whole time I kept completely quiet. Walmart associate, the first one who I had asked to open the case, comes up. We'll call him WA2. "Sorry that took so long, I couldn't find a key. Is there a problem?" At this point, the two Walmart associates are discussing the situation. I am texting the insanity of this to my wife, and the kid is crying really loudly. Finally, the manager arrives. Walmart manager goes and talks to Walmart associates for a few minutes, and entitled mother answers her phone. She says, "I know I'm taking too long. Some pervert is trying to take the last toy, and the moron at Walmart is actually trying to let a grown man take a toy away from a kid. I know, what a joke. It's okay, the manager is here." Walmart manager then signals for me to walk over, away from the kid and the mother. He says, "So, based on what I know of the situation, you were here first. Now that means it's up to what you want to do. I understand this lady has been very rude, but I just wanted to talk to you for a second. I'm keen to keep things calm over here, so what I can do for you is give you the original discount plus $20 additional off when the next round comes in if you are okay with waiting." I say, "I'll admit I'm not stoked about it, but I appreciate your help." "Thank you." This entire time, entitled parent went off the Walmart associates, claiming this was by far the most insane thing she had ever seen. Walmart supports perverts like me, and then calling the news and informing them that they let a pervert buy all the kids' toys right in front of the kids' eyes. Okay, this gentleman has decided to wait for them to come back in stock if you want to take this one. Entitled parent, for real, says, "Are you kidding me? This jerk kept me here for over 20 minutes. It was more like 10 tops, just to finally agree to let my son have it? Screw him." I spoke with him, and we came to an agreement on terms that worked best for everyone involved. Wait, he was the person who caused all this bullcrap, and you offered him free crap? That's bullcrap. I was the one that was subject to sitting here while he played with his stupid game. What are you going to do for me, for my time, and letting this make my son so upset? Ma'am, you're getting the item. I'm sorry that this took a second, but I had to get all the information. That doesn't answer my question. You're letting this loser get all kinds of discounts for literally being a creep and an a-hole, and making my son cry, but I get nothing but what I deserve in the first place? God, this is so insane, and Walmart corporate will be hearing about this. At this point, I walked away and chuckled to myself. A week later, I got the call that they had another one in stock, and I went in to pick it up. Wow. Just wow. Update. So a few of you have had some questions about missing details. 1. I didn't change my mind as a favor to the manager. He was trying to work with me, and I didn't want to disrespect him. That lady I didn't care about much at all. 2. I understand that Walmart doesn't offer the price match guarantee any longer. I assumed that's why they had offered me the price match, but the truth is, I asked them and they homered it. Plain and simple. That is a minor insignificant part of the story, so not sure why so many people are offended by this. 3. We exchanged information, phone numbers, when we had our conversation. Didn't really see it necessary to add to the story. Right, I hope you guys enjoyed that one today. This has been Markee reading another r/EntitledParents post. Tell me what you thought about it down in the comments. Did you like this reading today? Because I hope you did. I hope you have a good day, night sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!